Why do some NCOs treat counseling like a gotcha game instead of development? Staff Sergeant Donovan kept a black notebook. Every minor mistake got documented, not to help soldiers improve, to build cases against them. I was a specialist in supply. Decent soldier, never in trouble. But Donovan targeted me from day one. First counseling came after I arrived at formation 2 minutes late. Traffic accident blocked the gate. Whole company was late. Only I got paperwork. Sign here, Donovan said, sliding the form across his desk. Sergeant, the entire platoon was late because of the gate. Not my concern. You're responsible for travel time. Sign it. Week later, counseling for dusty boots during inspection. My boots looked like everyone else's. Only mine got documented. You're developing a pattern of deficiency, Donovan said, adding it to my growing folder. Can you explain what I'm doing wrong so I can fix it? The counseling explains everything. Read it carefully. But they didn't explain anything. Just vague language about failing standards. No guidance, no development plan, just paperwork. 3 months in, I had 7 counseling statements. All minor things. Things other soldiers did constantly without consequences. My roommate Curtis warned me, Donovan's building a case. Seen him do this. Gets enough counselings, then pushes for Article 15. I started documenting everything. Times, dates, witnesses, built my own notebook. Breaking point came during a gear layout. I displayed everything perfectly. Checked 3 times. Donovan examined my gear. Picked up my gas mask carrier. Where's your hydration system? Right here, Sergeant. I pointed to the Camelback in plain view. This isn't the current model. You were issued the updated version. No, Sergeant. That issue was only for deploying units. He pulled out his phone, snapped a photo. We'll see. Wait here. 20 minutes later, he returned with the supply sergeant. Supply sergeant looked confused. That's correct. Support section still uses the old model. Reed's gear is right. Donovan's face twitched. First time he couldn't write counseling, but he tried anyway. That evening called me to his office. Your attitude during layout was disrespectful. I'm issuing counseling for failure to maintain military bearing. Sergeant, I'd like a witness present. Not necessary for developmental counseling. Army regulation says I can request a witness. I want my squad leader. Donovan's jaw clenched. Fine. Tomorrow at 0900. Next morning I showed up with Sergeant Vincent. Good NCO actually cared about soldiers. Donovan started his speech. Vincent interrupted. What specifically did Reed do that was disrespectful? His tone when I questioned his equipment. What did he say exactly? Donovan fumbled through notes. He said the equipment was correct. And was it correct? That's not the point. Sergeant Donovan, I've worked with Reed 6 months. He's respectful and competent. This is his 8th counseling in 3 months. What's your developmental plan? What training have you provided? Silence. No answer. Because there was no development. Just documentation. Vincent pulled out his phone. I'm looking at other specialists in your section. None have more than 1 counseling this quarter. Most have 0. Why is Reed different? I pulled out my notebook. I've documented 7 instances where other soldiers did exactly what I got counseled for. They received verbal corrections. I received written counselings. Vincent took my notebook, flipped through. His expression hardened. This is discriminatory counseling. I'm taking this to the first sergeant. 2 days later, first sergeant called a meeting. Me, Donovan, Vincent, and the company commander. Commander spread out all counseling statements. Sergeant Donovan, explain your developmental strategy for Specialist Reed. Donovan stammered about high standards. Commander cut him off. High standards apply to everyone. These counselings show no development plan, no resources, no goals. This is harassment. He pulled out a thick folder. Reed has letters of recommendation from the supply officer, Battalion S4, and 2 other NCOs. His work is exemplary. Why are you trying to destroy his career? Donovan had no answer. Just sat there staring at his hands. Commander voided all counselings. Everyone. Ordered Donovan to retake the Army's counseling course. Leadership is about making soldiers better, not burying them in paperwork. Donovan got moved to a different section. Received his own counseling statement. I stayed in supply. Made sergeant 2 years later. When I started counseling soldiers, I remember Donovan. Every counseling I write includes specific goals, resources, follow-up dates, and development plans. Had a private last month struggling with equipment accountability. Sat him down, explained the system, gave him tracking tools, followed up weekly. 3 months later, he's running the best organized cage in the warehouse. No counseling statements needed. Vincent pulled me aside recently. Remember Donovan's black notebook? How could I forget? Ran into him at another base. Still keeps it. Still building cases. Some people never learn. I've trained 5 soldiers who made sergeant. All understand counseling is development, not punishment. That black notebook taught me exactly what kind of leader I didn't want to become.